I have a wonderful story to share. Today, 27th August 2025, I was debating whether I should write it as a story or record it. I'm getting lazy now and I think it's easier just to record it. What happened a couple of days ago was uh, I have been disconnected from my old friends in Seattle. Wonderful, wonderful people, always there to help. Um, Very, very talented bunch. I used to teach the little kids there human values. So I got friendly, and I don't remember having any kind of war or ill feelings whatsoever. But long story short, as our life started to take a big U turn and all these experiences started to happen, and so many changes were happening, it was hard to keep in touch with friends. And while it was happening, the body changes, and it was just too intense. So we were just focusing on this ministry and where it was taking us as it reflected upon our real lives. And eventually we moved to India 2014, and it's been 10 years now as we moved to India. So technically, I got disconnected from 2010. So more than 15 years now. But as I'm sitting here praying for the Lord to show us the way, what's the next scene, what's the next chapter, uh, there seems to be a little accumulative energy that's bubbling. So from within my heart, I was just thinking of one thing leads to the other, right? One thought leads to the other thought, and then that's how the energy accumulates. So I was thinking, where am I? What am I doing here? Just refreshing on, am I following the Lord correctly? Am I on the right track? Is there anything else here that needs to be cleaned up before the Lord showers His mercy upon this family? Bring the love within our hearts. Let us forget all the past. And as I was praying and thinking on these terms, I started to think about these people in Seattle. And so much love just poured into my heart. I don't know, it was just so intense. So a while before, like I don't know, around a couple of years ago, I had connected with one of my students who's grown up now, and he's an aspiring musician, very, very talented, extremely talented and musically gifted. So he had some recordings on YouTube, and I had connected with him through that. We don't have a relationship. I just said hi, and he remembered, and that was it. So this was again years ago. So coming back to now, just a couple of days ago, I had to do something with this energy that was just overwhelming within me. So what I did, I just sent him an email. I said, hi, I want to get in touch with your mom. And I gave my number, and I left it at that. I just let it go, because you don't know where the person's mind is at, how they have changed. It's been so long. Time and space creates that kind of a distance. But the love certainly remains, of course. It doesn't really matter what happens. So I just let it go. I cut through the night and I just fell asleep. And I woke up to the phone ringing, and it was her from Seattle. It's been a couple of days, but I'm still so excited. I was so happy to hear her voice. How sweet. These beautiful souls that God put in our lives, and they probably are not tracking how much of help they are to other people. They might be going through their own stuff. Of course, that's what keeps us humble and on our track. It shouldn't get to our head how much we're helping, or it just needs to be a spontaneous reaction from the place of love. So, long story short, she's a good listener, big heart, always there to help people. We were quite friendly at that time, even her family. I'm talking about a relationship that has no strings attached. There is no, like, we don't even keep in touch. We don't talk about personal things too much. It is a spontaneous connection. That feels like it was always there, and it always will be. That's how it was. But I think about it now, how much we take it for granted, that when we have a friend or somebody like that, we are just, we're casual about it, or we just go about it like it's nothing else. Then when it hits you like this, you're so grateful. How much I could have thanked, how much I could have made the relationship even more beautiful. Thoughts like that happens after you have spent more than 20 years in a very intense transformative journey. Understand where I come from? So we talked for hours, and I spontaneously shared a story to her. And one thing led to the other, and it ended up with what are the chances that I just email her son, and right away he tells his mom, which was again a miracle because he's in his own world. She was like surprised that it even came from him, and then her making the choice to call me right away. What are the chances? 100%. So we laughed about it because I had just shared the story that happened years ago in my personal life, which is where I stole this teaching, the moment where, what are the chances? What are the chances that whoever is listening to it now comes across this and is going through a similar experience, and they're wondering, what are the chances? 100%. So I'm still actually thinking about it, excited about our reconnection. We just took off from where we left off. So much love, and God bless her soul and everybody who helped in any small ways in our family. And for the past couple of days, it's been going along that everything is just falling into. If I read a book, it's going along with what I'm thinking, and the Lord's calling. It's his ways, how he talks to you, or how he shows to you that he's here, he's present. He's watching. He's absolutely with us all the time. It's us who needs to get used to it. We need to get used to that kind of love. And then the pain kind of just goes in the background. My body is in a lot of pain. My bones ache. I'm barely crawling to get things done. But how are we doing it? Are we still able to do it with a smiling face, Very, very important, the attitude with which we live our lives, so we don't miss out, because see how fast time goes. So we were talking about how love is perfected in pain. Beautiful. So we'll see if something has stirred up, something has happened, and we don't know where this is going to lead to, but it was a good feeling to connect with old friends. It's like, the reuniting the family, and it goes along with my prayer. Bless us, show us the way, what has become of us, and what we can do for you. How can we give this big gift back to you? So I will share the real story now that I'm intending to share in the first place. It's a personal story, but nevertheless, there is a lesson there that there is a upper hand, a higher hand, a mighty hand that can move things, that can create spaces, that can use anyone, anywhere, anyhow to fill that gap, to bring you back home, to guide you, to help you. Even if we are closed our eye, even if we're not aware of it, His hand is there. It's that benevolent, that so merciful. So I won't go into the details of how it led to that place, but uh, I was married at that time. I had a son, and there was war, basically dysfunctional, chaotic energy clashes. And as a mother, Indian mother, he was an American Caucasian. How we came together was a miracle. So it was all a story that began for my son's journey. So it was horrible, the oppression and everything, and my reaction to it, and I didn't know how to cope with it. And during this time, I was also in a tedious process of getting these sessions from John. He is a master at this body work that actually began my journey after my marriage. And he was at that time my teacher, my guide, and my go-to. Currently, we are together. Currently, we are married, and that happened during the transition. I'm talking about 2010. This happened 2010. At that point, at this incident happened, I was at the peak of just exploding and just giving up. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. When you're going through that kind of pain, it seems intense. But when you're healed and you come out of it and you're able to tell the story, it's a different mindset. And you think from this place, oh, I could have done better. But actually, no, I am a different person now. I have changed. So thinking that I could have done better from this place is not right. Because at that time, what was going on, that is how we perceive things, how it's perceived in what state of mind you were in at that time. The sessions, the body work actually helped me with my pregnancy and all that. It's a beautiful science. And then the teachings of life and the mind changing. For me, it's been an enlightening journey. So anyway, one Sunday I got really upset. I didn't know what to do. I said, hell with you guys, and I left the house. I mean, I had a little plan. I had some part of me that was awake. I'm shamelessly sharing this story because I know that there are women out there and even men sometimes going through a very depressed state of mind where it is so hard to come out. It's a state of hellish state of mind, and there is no particular part that you can connect with that is actually able to do anything normally, right? Whether it's a body pain or a mental disturbance or whatever that is. So I'm hoping that it will be inspiring for people that, hey, see, this has happened to me. There is nothing that God cannot do. There is no person bad enough for Him not to touch. No. The energy of love is so powerful. It can heal and transform anybody in whatever state they are in. So stay with me with the story. This is not about glorifying my troubles or suffering or my past trauma. This is about the story about healing, and even with an extreme situation like mine, I'm hoping that God will give you the strength to think, if she can do it, I can do it. My situation is not even half as bad as her. I'm hoping. We'll see. So I left the house. My only thought in my mind is, I want to go see John. He's my last resort, and we'll see what happens. But I don't call him, I don't tell him I'm coming, because I don't want anything to disturb. I didn't want anybody to know. It was my secret prayer, secretive prayer, penance, if you may. And I left the house. And I'm working out my plan as I went along with it, because it was a ferocious energy. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to fall in front of a train, or I didn't know. I had no idea what it was going to do to me, or I was even going to get the strength to come out of it. It was a phase, it was a room, it was a classroom. I come out, I find out the buses. I traveled a lot in buses at that time. I knew driving, but we owned only one car and I wasn't driving at that time. So I left the house, we had got into the bus. Stay with me, I haven't told this story to anyone. So far I haven't processed this particular event. Because like I said, it's a personal story, and until I talked to my friend the other day, after years, it didn't hit me that how profound that experience was. Anyway, so I go in the bus and I find out, now John's living in a very remote place. It was like, it takes almost 2 hours just driving in the car. So going in the bus and all that might take hours. I don't know. I have no idea where this is all going. I just wanted to disconnect from the pain of my family suffering without love, not being able to get along, not being able to even do one right thing, and so on and so forth. It could take any shape or form in any family. Details are not important. So I catch the bus, I go to another place, and I'm because they have these bus routes in a book, so you just have to connect with it. You have to go with it. So I go from thinking whether to go in the train or the bus. I found some place. I don't remember exactly what I did, but it was so very well organized. Now that I think about it, I think it was God's grace that He made me do all that. He said, okay, fine, you want to go on this track, let's do it together. I wasn't aware at that time that was what was happening. But as I'm telling the story, I'm realizing, oh, that was a pretty good plan. I did it pretty with a pretty good mindset. So there's nothing crazy about it. If you're able to think, if you're able to catch a bus, if you're able to figure out, use the intelligence and go here and go there, right? Nothing's wrong with you. So anyway, all the way from Seattle north to this place was near Skycomish, Stevens Pass, that area, a mountainous area where people go to ski all the time from Seattle. So I find somehow I think I take one bus to the main place from where there are other buses to this particular place called Gold Bar. So I do that. I don't know how to get to his house yet. It was not an end to end, it was not a point to point journey, is what I'm trying to say. Like I said, nobody really goes in buses and all that. That place, usually people just go by car. Very beautiful area it is. The drive through the mountains and Highway 2 leading to the Stevens Pass. Very, very beautiful roads there to drive. So I go to Gold Bar. Now I arrive at Gold Bar. By now 2 or 3 hours has gone by, just traveling in the buses. Waiting for the bus, for the next bus, whatever. So I just sit in the bus. I don't know where it's going to stop. I'm going to get down on the last stop. And there are no buses going from Gold Bar to John's house, which was in Index. It was like 2 or 3 little towns away. So I get down Gold Bar. They say this is the last stop. I get down. There are no buses from there to Index. So I start to walk. That time I had the energy. I walked a lot. So I start walking. And I don't know, I have no idea. There are sometimes the roads are very small, sometimes there is no footpath, there's no like what do you call, it's called footpath in India, sidewalk. So sometimes the sidewalks are not there for you to walk. It's a highway, cars are speeding. So now I'm walking and there is a board and I see it's 8 miles from Gold Bar to Index. I'm going, wow, okay, that's a long way. It doesn't matter. I started the journey. I'm almost here, Now I feel like I'm in a really deep prayer mood. And I said, Lord, I don't know what I have done. By the time I reached Gold Bar, some energy had processed off. I was away from that place of war and I felt a little better. You know what I mean? Sometimes just moving from this room to that room makes you feel a little better, right? And I started to pray really, really hard. I said, I'm really sorry if I'm doing the wrong thing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea how I'm going to reach his house. I walked for another couple of hours, I think. I walked for another couple of hours. I would have, not sure. I have to look into the details of how long it takes to walk a mile. But I think it was a couple of miles into the big walking. There is a police car coming behind me. Now my heart's just pounding out of my chest. I'm in a country, that I'm not familiar other than just going to work, coming back home. I haven't explored as much. And you definitely don't feel at home like you are in India. You just ask people by word of mouth, and it's different in India because there are people out there on the road, and not in the US, especially in these remote places, nobody really walks on the road like that. So people tend to doubt you. What is going on with this lady? Is she okay? Is she going to go commit suicide? You know what I mean? So those minds can go any places. So the police car stops right by me. My heart's just pounding, but I'm not showing it. I'm smiling. He pulls the window down and he asked me, is everything okay, ma'am? I said, yes, sir, I'm just walking. Is everything all right? I said, yes. And I walk. So again, now that I think about it, it was God. It was God checking on me, asking me if everything's okay. So now that somebody has busted me, my mind is awake. I'm ashamed. Actually, I was literally in guilt and shame that I'm caught off guard on the road. But that is that low self-esteem. That is those kind of feelings of offendedness comes from weakness. But again, positively, if you look at it, he was just checking on me to make sure everything is all right, just in case that I need help from a police. They all know things happen in life. You fight, people fight, and sometimes people are thrown out of the house. All those things are very normal now, with the violence and all that, the abuse, the violence. Anyway, so I calm it down. He sees that I was able to pull out a part that could smile and say, no, everything is fine. I'm just going for a walk. Phew, that was a relief. Because the last thing you want to end up is in jail, right? So now I'm really, really praying hard. I said, Lord, I don't know what I have done, but I'm walking and walking, and slowly the sidewalks are getting smaller and smaller. Now I'm really starting to freak out. Now it's just reaching the peak. Even to go backwards, to walk back, now then I'll feel like I didn't succeed uh, my plan to come to John's house for help. So one thought flashed my mind. This happened several times later when my mind was more awake and aware, and instantly I recognized it as God talking to me in that voice, asking me, what do you want? And then I gave him the answer, and he made it happen instantly. Not unlike the story I just told, that I wanted to talk to my friend and I wrote to her son and she calls instantly. Instantly it happened. There was no wait at all. Next morning. So there is a feeling of oneness with the spirit from within. You are doing it, but there is also God watching you, because at that time your mind is not aware of that oneness. You see, we are on a journey towards becoming one with the source of from where you came. And this whole journey, as I was walking, this is a story that actually played out as I'm reflecting on it. So one thought flashed my mind. What if John comes now and picks me up? Just like that. I don't have a phone. I can't call him. I can't talk to him. Get it? I came bare. I just left the house with no intention whatsoever. Then I brushed it off my mind and I said, how stupid that would be. How is that going to happen? That's not going to happen. What am I thinking about? I just have to keep walking. At that time, it didn't strike me that maybe I'm getting more ideas now. Maybe I could have hitchhiked or asked somebody to drop me there, whatever. But he will have some way or the other, right? This is how it happened in this story. Believe me, friends, a true story this is. As soon as that thought flashed my mind, and as soon as I dismissed it, I see a green Subaru come from the opposite direction, go, because the roads are uphill, downhill, like that, because it's a mountainous area. I see this car go past me, and then it goes uphill, and then it vanishes, and I can't see it anymore. And for a second, I thought it was John's car. So now that it's gone by, I'm going, oh, again, I'm being stupid. So my mind is trying to come out of this mess. That's what's happening. That's what the whole processing was. As I'm thinking, one incident was leading to the other, and my mind was going through this intense journey. Again, I dismissed myself. And I said to myself, keep going. This is your penance. Keep going higher. Just keep walking. Just keep walking. By now, my legs are just so tired. It is throbbing with pain. And like I said, the sidewalks were getting smaller and smaller. Now I'm walking very, very slowly because in the back of my mind, I really wished that was John's car. And it kind of reaches the peak. Now I'm in a state where anything happens, I'm okay with it. Whatever happens, a place of surrender. There is no thoughts, there's no anger, there's no sadness even. It was just a blank, a blank space of what just happened, where am I, what is going to happen. If you can relate to my experience of how I would have felt at that time. Just mindlessly, my body is just continuing to put smaller and smaller steps because I don't want those things to happen again. And I'm also thinking in my mind, because there is changes happening, that I will never do this again. I'm going to go through whatever I'm going through. this reacting and running away and trying different ways, distracted, with the distracted mind, it's not good. It's always better to just calm it down, be in the space. I did that a lot later on, because I have each time this kind of experience happened where God's hand moved profusely, His grace, and brought me back home, was brought me back home in the mind and in the heart, into the right place, so He can continue this work of transformation and blessing and healing. I understood that many things like that fell away from me. So I'm thinking in my mind, almost breaking down. I'm almost just crashing. I'm not exaggerating at all. This is not even a work of fiction, true story. And I put my steps, not really looking anywhere. Just like I said, staring into a blank space. By now it's almost after evening. I haven't had lunch, nothing. And I feel something right by my side, and I turn around and it's John's car. He had spotted me. He's been working on me, so he recognized me wearing an Indian dress walking on the road. He drives by me and he stops the car, and I turn around and it's him. But I see that the whole car is filled with wood, because he lives in a very cold place and he needs to keep wood stashed up. Or I don't know, he was buying something else for building something. But the whole car was filled with that. Now I look at the car, I'm like, okay, even after all this, God listened to my prayer. John's car came, it's right there next to me, and I'm going, there is no room in the car. How am I going to sit? Is he even going to let me in? You know what I mean? So I just stare blankly. I'm waiting. What he's going to do, I don't know. Now see, I have created that space where unknowingly I am seeking for his grace and help. He's a master of space. That's what the body work is all about. It's creating space where it moves, the energy moves, and your pain goes away. It's a fascinating work. So he moves the wood here and there, and he creates a small little place in the front of the car. And I am a small, petite person. He opens the door and he says, "What are you doing here? Get in." So I get in. I sit in the seat, wear my seat belt, close the door, and I am very, very silent. He starts the car and he starts to drive. And slowly I got my voice out and I asked him, what are the chances that I secretively run out of my house, come in the bus, walk on this road, and think maybe John will come, God will send him, pick me up. What are the chances that I see you on the road and you pick me up? By now you might have guessed what the answer is. He says 100%. And again I fell into a space of silence, knowing and certain that God was watching me the whole time. God had put it in his mind to come and buy wood at that day. You see how everything just fell into place. Can you imagine the relief and the gratefulness that was filled in my heart for an Indian woman, all alone in the US, it was not easy. So the whole ride, I'm just being very, very quiet. And instead of going to his house, he takes a right somewhere because he can sense that I am in need and I am completely broke and I am in so much pain that he recognized this as my seeking out to God for a session, for some kind of a work so I can get relief. Sorry, because it's hitting me. What I went through at that time was extremely chastisement beyond my understanding of how a human being can even cope with a situation like this. How did I end up in this place? After following God's word, this all happened with His will. But sometimes He takes you through the fire to bake you. Not always with an intention of giving you comfort and pleasure, because this is real work in life. He has no sympathy if there is something that needs to be chiseled out and make you into that what you really are from within, and all these other things that you think you are is just a delusional, or it's been added on as a means for us to learn something from that. So, pardon me. And he takes this turn. I am not able to even cry. I think this is the first time that it has just exploded like that in forms of an emotion. So it's good for me. Even to this day, after all these years, there are places where it needs to be touched and processed and blessed in such a way that it becomes a story of healing. And I'm freely able to share it. It's beautiful, actually. So he takes me to this Wallace Falls that's near Gold Bar. You should go. It's a beautiful place. If I get a chance, I would visit all those places again. So by right near Gold Bar in Washington, there is this big waterfalls. It's a beautiful place. Many people go there. And John knows a secret place where we could go there and actually experience the very ferocious waterfalls very close by. The nice rocks there, beautiful place. So how thoughtful he was to take me there so I can feel some kind of a relief from whatever I was going through, that God's hand is in it. What are the chances that he's going to come pick me up in the middle of the road? 100%. So now I'm on the roll and I'm receiving his session and his words of wisdom. He says some beautiful words, and the whole atmosphere was so surreal. It was like heaven. It was just like a different place altogether. And he said, let the broken pieces that is enveloping your heart fall away. Know that your heart is a soft thing. May that love rise. Bless you. And right then we saw like a red worm or something, just somewhere. It appeared from somewhere and it went into the river. It was something just came off of me, you know what I mean? All those little experiences, little things that was put together. And there was some kind of a release and relief. Oh, actually, if I remember, now I'm remembering it in more detail. What had happened was there was some kind of a misunderstanding through some personal experience. We were going to go somewhere and I wanted to take my kid too, and John was not okay with that or something like that. And he stopped talking to me like properly. So, see, even at that time, I was not aware that some kind of a love story was being created here. Our love was very pure. Relationship was professional, teacher to student relationship, and it was the only relationship that I had that was clean for me to able to see what I am and becoming, because it was part of the work. I wanted to be a good student and earn His grace and His blessings, So he had actually got offended about something I did, and I wasn't sure what I did wrong, but it was some kind of an ego clash. And he had actually not stopped talking freely from that point. That's why I think the emotion and everything was just piling up. So that's why I think I didn't have the guts to tell him that I'm coming. I just did it secretively. I just did it behind his back. That's what happened. So after he did this session and he spoke words of wisdom, I gave him a big hug and I said, John, I just can't be without talking to you. I hope you can forgive me and we can move on. I need you to for my journey to complete. He said, yes, dear. It's all right. I'm here now and we will continue the journey. God's with us and it's all going to be fine. God bless his soul and heart and mind for being an instrument for so many people to touch with that integrity and with wisdom that can get you out of, miserable situation. It was beautiful. I thanked him. I thanked God. And then we went back home. He was with his wife at that time. She was also there. So it was comforting that time with some family. And I was hungry as hell after all these sessions. He made me my most favorite meal of all. At that time I was getting introduced to all kinds of American dishes, and John was a great chef. I was learning a lot at that time. So many things were happening. All these things were blossoming, coming out of my shell to experience more beautiful things out there in the world, especially related to food. I grew up eating curd rice and just simple food, Indian food. And I started to learn after I go there. It expands your mind, going to a different place and adjusting with their food. Still a vegetarian, though I never ate meat. I never want to. It's not in my karma. So he had made this kind of a brown rice salad with paneer, cottage cheese on top with lettuce and some goddess dressing. Most delicious food I ever had. I will never forget. And then can't remember if I stayed the night. Yeah, I think I stayed the night there. My sessions continued. He had cute little cats. It was a beautiful therapeutical session for me. I healed. I overcame my emotional state a little bit, and I was ready to go back home and take off from where we left off. And next morning he offered to drop me back home to Seattle. There was no way I'm walking back or coming in the bus. God bless him for that again. And I come back home. And we just, move on. Of course, many more things happened after that. And we kept coming to a different place every time. But that's that churning of the ocean, to bring out all the good stuff that is in there. And while that's happening, all the other bad stuff also comes off. And what is good remains. We tend to keep what is good, because this whole story is about the good winning over the evil, no matter what. to the point where right now I literally have no enmity with anyone, or no hatred, even with my now ex, because they are all in some state of mind. They can change if they want to, everybody has a chance. But once you change and you come to a different place, there is no connection, there is no wanting to fight, wanting to be offended, nothing just goes away. I think to be honest, that part of us that is Christ within us just rises up. When you think like Christ, and when you talk like Christ, and when you think how he can forgive, how he doesn't have any offense at all, that kind of godly nature that radiates so much love that you just melt. You change from within. So now you're not afraid to be around people who are of a lesser mind, or has qualities that they're just carrying energies. We're all just carrying energies. My son too, a great teacher that way, not like in words or anything, but just energetically. Oh God, we love him so much. It's so hard to hate now, and all those things that's happened, you think about, how I could have done better. So he's played a role to carry certain energies to just dissipate it in other people. Everybody just loved him. It's amazing. But personal relationships is where all the real stuff comes out, right? No matter what outside, like in professional life, you can't show that part of yourself. You always have a part that kind of works out. You kind of adjusts in professional areas. Come on, let's be honest. Everybody's going through the same thing. There's no hiding anything. And basically the war is within ourselves, with all the parts. So this work is all about that. Look inside, look within to see what you can change. Because normally the human nature is to just react to whatever is happening around you. Great example, my son is that way. Now we are cordial. He's 18, he's an adult. So I'm hoping that, we're going to have a very mature and decent relationship. For the rest of the life that we have, let's value it and live like, it's beautiful, because it is. Just energetically, it's a non-verbal war most of the time. It's a energy to energy combat. So when you understand that people just carry energies, they don't even mean it, but we are also having that, so we tend to connect with that. I'll give for example, like if you're offended by somebody, you think that person needs to do something, but it's not happening. Now you're getting offended. Now we go into states of mind that is so deluded, so far from truth, that it's not right for us to think that it is true. Whatever we think that the other person is doing is true, and then react from that place. Sometimes it is, yes, but not all the time. Most of the time we're deluded. Like, they're not thinking that they want to hurt you, they want to be evil. I'm talking about good people here who are infected with the other energy that is actually at war, with not letting the good part rise. It's a war between good and evil, So when you come to a state where you can think that way, that or know the truth, because every time we would just come back together, we take off from where we left off. So where is the enmity here? There's no enmity here. Then why bring old topics? They won't even remember. Like bombarding them, but you did this, you did that, and you know what I mean? Just come from a place of love and a state where you have consoled yourself or found resolve. Then there is a chance that the other person also may or may not choose to accept that. Really. So much has changed, because you're not getting angry, you're not reacting. He says, no, because I don't feel like it. It's natural. I'm not even acting. This is not a pretend at all. I'm a very organic person. Very, very honest. Too honest, actually. So when you do this work with honesty and truth, you shine. You just shine the light. And then you go into states where you're really asking for forgiveness. Wow, I really did something really, because I was not in the right mind. See, that's it. So he comes in places, puts people in your life. We're not in control actually that much. All this ego dancing around thinking we are in control, we're doing this, we're doing that. Think about it. There is a spirit within that is actually guiding you and guarding you. Something else is actually troubling us. But then we throw it on the hand of God that is actually helping us. But He doesn't mind. He's taking all that. He takes it. Because a helping hand always helps, isn't it? A giving hand always gives. A loving heart always loves. Doesn't matter. It hurts, yeah, when you start loving at this level, it hurts way more than when somebody is hating you or hurting you. Because now you start to see that that person is hurt, that person is actually being affected by that energy before even I can react that that is offending me. Get it? Follow me? In simple terms, that person is getting angry, is getting offended, is reacting. That person is actually hurt. So if you come from the place of love, you will actually start to have compassion. And instead of reacting to it with the me, I got offended, you will say, what can I do to help you? Why are you so angry? Right? If they're open to the situation. Or you silently radiate love. You silently don't react and pray for that person. You watch, magical things can happen. Really. We'll talk about this more. I think I've gone way too far in this story. I didn't expect it, but thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me a space to share the story. I hope all of you get a little bit of faith and a little bit of love that you can tap into, which is because it's all there in anyone. And if we can do it, anyone can. So we're here for you as a friend, guide you, to guard you, to give you a word of comfort and soothe your soul. And know that there is a God, there is a spirit within that can rise and make any situation into a better situation. Every little thing that is happening can be changed into good. It can be changed into good. It can be transformed into something valuable in life, so we can live life more happily. It's not worth it to spend our lives in bitterness and anger and fighting and war. Let's stop it, right? Let the world of love begin within you, and then we will attract all kinds of beautiful things, people and love into our lives. So God bless you. Take care. Hang in there and wait for God's hand to come. Reach out at the right time and the right space, because the truth is He's always with you. That love is always there. No, it's not going anywhere. And because love doesn't get offended, it loves. It simply sits there and loves. Even if you're getting angry at it, or I don't like the part that is not liking the love part is not the part that is coming from a place of love. You see? So we're separating from that. We're not even going to be connected with that. We're gonna have a new path, a new way, where everything is made of love. Everything is good. And we, even if it is not, we will have the mind and the heart to radiate the energy of love and transform it into something good. Listen to this and see what you can make out of it, and then we'll take it from there. All right? So what are the chances that you're here listening to this and getting blessed? 100%.